Well, it seems I've royally shot myself in the foot by waiting for the livestream gameplay that happened on August 2nd. Atlus decided to release so much information about P5R that it could even be considered spoilers, especially for those who didn't finish the original game. From earlier in the week, we have the Futaba, Haru, and Morgana character trailers to go over, which are fairly brief, but after hitting a goal on the livestream of 10,000 retweets, they also dropped Goro Akechi's trailer, which has confirmed a few of my own theories. During the livestream, they found a way to include promotional video number 2, Morgana's report number 4, and a boatload of new gameplay focusing on Kichijoji and Mementos. Towards the end of the livestream, they also announced that the game has gone gold, essentially meaning the game is complete and is ready to print on discs. It is quite crazy to think about how in 2 to 3 months, the game will be out in Japan, and since it's already complete, this might suggest that localization on the English version can start earlier. In this video, I'll be covering only the character trailers and making separate videos about PV02 and the livestream gameplay, so keep an eye out for them. And also due to the fact I'm a little bit lazy and I want to go back to playing Fire Emblem. And with that out of the way, it was Duane here from DewyHQ. Let's get into analysing. Starting off with the Futaba trailer, it begins with Kazumi, Joker, Morgana and Futaba sitting at LeBlanc, as Futaba shakily introduces herself to Kazumi. In turn, Kazumi replies with a smile. Morgana questions Futaba, asking if she's actually going to use her honorifics or not. In my personal opinion, this looks to be a scene that's related to the main story, where perhaps this is Kazumi's first visit to LeBlanc before joining the team. After the intro, the same study session which happens at the end of summer after completing Futaba's dungeon. I haven't noticed anything different about this scene, so for now I'll assume it's the same. Next we are shown a live version of the New Year's Day shrine visit. Kazumi asks Yusuke, "What are you doing?" Futaba then interjects and replies that this is his thing and maybe she should just ignore it. Following this, we have a small scene of Futaba, Sojiro, and Joker having an intimate family moment. They have looked to have just finished a cake and coffee, possibly celebrating a special event or just making time for each other. Futaba is dreaming and talking in her sleep as Sojiro wonders what she is dreaming about. Following this, we are treated to Futaba's third tier evolution, which combines Necromicon and Prometheus into Al-Azif, which is the direct translation of Necromicon in Arabic. Al-Azif looks to be a more modern and sleeker version of Futaba's initial persona design. Directly after this, we are launched into Mementos gameplay where the team have launched an all-out attack. However, it shifts upwards into Futaba's persona. She punches in a code and she drops a bomb onto the enemy and follows it down. However, the bomb doesn't detonate. As she approaches it, it chimes in and propels her towards the screen, showcasing her new all-out attack finishing touch. I'm predicting that this all-out attack will only occur when Futaba changes cognition in your favor through her ability. Lastly, we get a small snippet of gameplay showing Joker and Futaba at the jazz club talking about Sojiro, and how appreciative Futaba is to have him in her life. It is also worth noting that Joker is wearing his false future jacket, so it might be a little bit hard to pinpoint if this event is occurring in the false world. But I have a feeling that this event could relate to Futaba's rank 11 confidant. Moving on to Haru, we are first shown the beginning of both Haru and Morgana's Showtime attack, where they announced that it's showtime. Following the intro, we are treated to a portion of a conversation that occurs between Haru and Mishima, where they talk about the recyclability of bottle caps. Mishima is surprised about Haru's intentions after asking her if this is her act of justice. Haru explains that she doesn't even know how to respond to it. This snippet of gameplay advises us that not only will Haru be present in the early game, but she will also have speaking roles, and making her prominent in the school life aspect before she joins the Thieves, which was severely lacking in the first game. Next we are shown the cutscene, which looks to unlock both Haru and Morgana's Showtime attack, like previous special cutscenes before it. Morgana comments that despite her looks, she will always think of something completely out of the box when bringing ideas to the table. We are then shown the entirety of the Showtime attack before fading out. But lastly, we are also given a small clip relating to the false future, where Haru's father is still alive. It could be possible that he doesn't die this time around, but again, it fits the criteria of Haru's desires, wanting her father back to normal before he went off the rails. Okumura notes that he was shocked to find out that Haru's friend was male. He lightly jests, asking Joker if he's really just a friend. Haru responds, asking him not to ask such silly questions. Okumura laughs at Haru's worked up response and states that he's only kidding. Next up is Morgana. The trailer begins with a scene that would only be familiar to those who completed the original game. This is the scene where Morgana returns after the last dungeon to everyone's surprise. The team look to be having their celebration party after removing mementos. The additions here being that the celebration looks to be taking place on Christmas Day, and Sojiro is bringing fried chicken, which has been a tradition in Japan on Christmas Day since the 70s. We can tell that this scene occurs after finishing mementos, since Morgana only gets access to his official cat portrait after finishing it. Following this, we are treated to a completely new scene of the boys attending a food festival in summer. Ryuji complains that it's super hot and whose idea was it to come here? Morgana replies saying that it was Ryuji's plan. This further alludes that there'll be even more special events and locations added to the game. Next, we are shown a scene between Joker and Morgana, where Morgana explains that he has an idea that will make Ann fall madly in love with him. This scene could be taken one or two ways. The trailer suggests that this scene will unlock Ann and Morgana's Showtime attack. However, I believe it might be for Joker and Mona's, since usually both characters need to be present in order to agree on the new move. But due to the ending scene, I believe it most likely will be the former. We are then greeted with Morgana's third tier evolution, as Zoro and Mercurius combined to create Diego. Diego retains Zoro's shape but takes the cosmetic features from Mercurius. Following this, we have the continuation of the Showtime cutscene, where Ann isn't left very impressed with the idea. As a result, Morgana seems quite disheartened about it. And lastly, tagging on the end of the trailer, we have a cutscene of Joker and Mona sitting on a bench in the park, which seems to be occurring the same day as the cleanup event. I believe that this scene directly leads into the short scene where Kazumi leaps and catches the balloon for the kid. Next, and lastly, we have the character trailer for the ace detective himself, Goro Akechi. The trailer begins with Akechi first revealing his persona in what seems to be the casino palace. This indicates that Goro will join the thieves like normal in the casino palace. Following the intro, we then catch a scene of Goro and Joker hanging out in the Penguin Sniper bar playing billiards. Akechi states that he had free time and wanted to play against someone. Joker comments that he always seems busy. Akechi responds saying it's not necessarily free time, but he's not always busy. This conversation isn't groundbreaking, but the fact that Goro receives confidant points based on the response now suggests that he is no longer an automatic confidant and is now a manual one. This means that you'll need to choose to hang out with him in order to raise his rank. This opens up a plethora of new paths that might be explored. Touching back on the gameplay, both Joker and Akechi seem to be playing 9-ball. Akechi sinks the 9-ball off the break without touching it, which means he automatically wins the game. This scene showcases the skill and method behind his actions, possibly hiding a hidden meaning underneath. Next, we cut to another scene of Joker and Akechi hanging out at a cafe, where Akechi seems to be hassled by two fans. Joker decides to give his glasses to Akechi and rough up his hair so he doesn't stand out as a celebrity. Akechi is surprised of the effectiveness behind this disguise. Following this, we are treated to some new gameplay of Akechi in his dark mask form, suggesting that he survives the incident in Shido's palace and rejoins the thieves. Now that Akechi is a manual confidant, you might need a certain level with him in order to keep him alive. The other thing to note here is that the gameplay is occurring in what I have theorized to be Kazumi's palace, since she awoken to her persona in the same battle background. However, the most confusing thing about this scene is that I've been speculating that Kazumi will join the thieves after Akumura's palace, but before Sai's palace, considering she makes an appearance in the casino, as Joker tries to escape when stealing the treasure. This means that she could have partially awakened to her persona like Haru, but didn't fully accept it before joining the thieves in her own palace. And with the presence of Dark Mask Akechi using Loki as his persona, this seems to indicate that Kazumi's theorized palace will take place after defeating Shido. This puts the palace in January or later, indicating that she might be the causes of the false futures that are occurring. This is further alluded to when the trailer finishes up with Akechi and Joker talking, where he asks Joker to meet him in a week's time. But if Joker chooses to live with his friends in the current reality, that's up to him. This suggests that Akechi knows that the current reality is false, and if they want to make things right, they'll need to work together. And that wraps up the character trailers. Many new theories have come to light, as the old ones were confirmed or denied. I'll be making separate videos for PV02 and the livestream gameplay, since covering them in one video might be a little bit too long. And we've had some last minute confirmations on third tier personas, Makoto's is called Agnes, and Haru's is called Lucy. I'll pop some images up here so you can have a better look at them. So in the meantime, feel free to subscribe if you're curious to see my other videos, and let me know of your theories in the comment section below. And let me know if I missed anything in these trailers. It was Duane here from DewyHQ, signing out. See you guys.